So where are we today, Teen?
Well, I tell you what, Norm, we're definitely not at the studio.
No, I'm missing those blue LED lights behind us.
Oh, well, you know what? I guess you'll have to have the lovely turquoise chairs behind us.
So here we are at our trailer in Bruce County, enjoying a
Yes,
wonderful breakaway. Been gorgeous, hasn't it?
absolutely beautiful. And if you are new to our channel, we are Tina and Norm, and we talk all things retirement and travel and financial and just generally chat about all sorts of things.
And if you're new here and you haven't already considered subscribing, we'd be honored if you would consider subscribing if you like our content. And also give us the...
Thumbs up would be great because it really helps our channel grow.
So what have we been up to recently, Teen?
Well, there was one thing, hey Norm, that you really wanted to do, and that was clean the outside of the trailer, wasn't it?
It was.
Ooh, and what a job that turned out to be.
So that's what we did yesterday.
Yes.
5.5 hours of scrubbing. The trailer hadn't been cleaned in a long time. So I did the roof.
Yeah.
I did all sides, front and back as well. And it just looks gorgeous at the moment.
Looks absolutely beautiful. And you were really lucky, hey Norm, because one of the neighbours lent us all his brushes and nozzles and this fancy car RV wax stuff, wasn't it?
That's right.
So it's made it all very clean and shiny.
The neighbours here are wonderful, always prepared to help.
Which is great, isn't it? Oh, plus, actually, what was good, Norm, was one of the best things we have bought is our new step ladders.
Yep.
That was a great deal, wasn't it?
Got those used on Kijiji.
Yeah.
A great deal. But yes, they enabled me to safely get on top of the roof.
Which was awesome, wasn't it? And we've been busy doing other things, haven't we? Just relaxing at the trailer and enjoying the weather.
But what we really wanted to talk about this week was... something.
Something.
So really, what's the purpose of this video today, Teen?
Well, it's kind of to do a sort of update on our health situation, isn't it, Norm?
Yeah, we've got news about medical details and visits to doctors. So we are going to update you on what we think might be something that you would want to consider. So join us for that. So we felt, having had the COVID vaccines, that stopped us getting our shingles vaccines because we just didn't want to have vaccinations one after the other. So we've decided that it's time for us both to get the shingles shot, and we're getting Shingrix. So we asked our doctor about that, and in Ontario we can get that once you're age 65 for free. So you have an age group which is
great. It's between 65 and 70 that it's covered, isn't it?
Totally free.
Yeah, which is great.
And then he also recommended that we would have the pneumonia shot as well. And once again, that is free in Ontario for people 65 and over.
And if you remember, Norm, we have had the shingles vaccination before, haven't we, about 7 years ago?
We did.
And at that time, Norm was 60 and I was 58. And we actually had to pay for it because we didn't qualify. So we actually paid like $200 each for the injection. But we'd had a discussion, didn't we? And we thought if either of us got shingles, we'd be paying any amount of money to have not got it. So $200 seemed a pretty good deal at the time, didn't it?
And back in those days, this was the best shingles vaccine there was. And then Shingrix, it's difficult to say. The new one came along, which is much more effective than the older one. So that's why our doctor recommended at our age we should be having it. So is that something that you're considering to have it? We did have a comment from one of our viewers, didn't we recently?
Did, yeah. And the person actually had shingles and they highly recommended everybody to get the shot.
Because it is dreadful. We've heard from some of our friends who have had it, and they are just saying it's just one of the worst painful diseases that you can get, or illnesses. So yeah, we're taking proactive steps
Yeah.
to prevent us catching these illnesses, and if we do catch it, hopefully it'll be
a lot milder, won't it?
Yeah.
And actually, Norm, they're actually recommending that anybody over 50 should actually look at getting the injection for shingles. So that's quite interesting, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's one of our updates. We have another one, so we're just choosing different locations today to film, and we'll be right back. The other thing that my doctor is bugging me about is that...
cholesterol.
Yeah.
Keeps talking to you about it, doesn't he, Norm?
He wants me to go on statins, but I've already been on those some years ago and didn't like it.
No.
They didn't agree with me. So we've done some research and we found out that diet can have an effect. So if you're on something like a keto diet, then you may well have an elevated cholesterol count. And from what we're reading, not all cholesterol is bad. Obviously, there's good cholesterol. Your brain uses a lot of cholesterol, but it depends on the particle size. So we have a lipid clinic, one of very few in our region. And so I'm getting a referral to there where they'll work up the particle sizes and find out whether it's genetic or lifestyle. So
it should be very interesting, shouldn't it, Norm? Here?
It is. The other thing that we're doing is we are being proactive with our health in retirement.
Yes, we are. And we are finding that our smartwatches is one of the best things that we've bought. It keeps us busy. We are doing like the 8,000 steps a day, aren't we?
We are, yeah.
And in fact, one of the great things of being at the trailer here is that we're often walking 2 and 3 times a day. It's so beautiful.
And all the
Really
roads
is.
are paved here, and we can walk for miles safely. There are no through roads. It's a private campground, gated. So basically, it's very safe to walk.
It's great. We love it, isn't it?
Now, the other thing that we're doing is taking a few supplements. We're not advising you to do this at all, but during the COVID, we had read about doctors who were prescribing or getting vitamin D3 to their family members, so we decided to do that. We're taking vitamin D3 to try and bolster our natural immune system, and we've been doing that for 2.5 years. And we have seen some benefits through that. And the other thing that Tina's favorite vitamin supplement is
vitamin C. And this is one of my favorites because when we were traveling, I used to make sure Norm and I took it everywhere we went on a daily basis. I used to have this thing that it protected us from everything while we were healthy. So while we're traveling. So that's
and one of Tina's theories were the flights that we were on. You would hear people coughing and sneezing and what have you. So we would dose up on vitamin C before we went on a flight.
Yeah.
And
I think it did work, didn't it?
We never got sick from that.
I think it was great. So we've been doing that too, haven't we?
We have.
Another reason we've stopped here is to show you in the background here a beautiful part of where we are staying.
Yeah.
You can see all the gorgeous pontoon boats here. It's really very pretty, isn't it, Norm?
It is, but Tina won't let me have one, so we can only stand and admire them all.
Oh, we're working on it, Norm. We've put it on the bucket list. But the nice thing is they do have regulations here, don't they, about it?
Yeah, you can only have a 10 horsepower on your boat, and you can rent a dock here so you can keep the boat in the water the whole season. And at the end of the season, they'll store it for you as well. So, yeah, that's another thing to add to the trailer is a pontoon boat.
Ooh, it would be exciting, wouldn't it?
It would. So why don't you, if you're taking some medications or your experiences about health in retirement, why don't you leave a comment in the section below and share with us what you're doing?
we love reading all the comments that everybody puts,
We
don't
really
we?
do.
It really helps us want to keep making the videos too, because we know it's helping other people as well.
So that's our tale of health in retirement and what we are doing.
Yes.
And we hope that everybody's keeping well.
And staying safe.
And until the next time,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.